Thank you.
So thank you, Dinaki. Chetan Patina. Throughout this session, we will describe the proposed virtual learning strategy for you. Shifting from physical to virtual learning sounds new to your company as well as your employees. But after going through this entire session, you will realize how excited it will be. But before that, we move on to the learning objectives expected through this proposed strategy. First, it will improve your employees' computer literacy in terms of virtual setup, and it's a customized learning platform in a flexible and user-friendly way. And third, it will gain a new learning experience to your employees, and similarly, allow learners to participate naturally and improve the engagement. Finally, improve the knowledge retention as well. So the entire recommendations we made based on the scope of your current training and development strategy, and we will discuss in similar several categories. So first, we look into the need analysis. So this can be done in a usual way, but in a different board. So entire data collection process related training needs you can do an online platform in terms of both customer and the employees. So that will facilitated with the online survey or online feedback form. Similarly, you will maintain an online system to maintain the customer complaints to identify the lacking areas. Then the normal performance appraisal system also you can carry it out as usual, but in an online media. Only the lacking part is the on-the-job observation. In the latter part of the session, we will look into that how we can mitigate. When it comes to designing and delivering of this training, so we understood that after going through the current strategy, you don't have a proper learning system. With that, we are going to propose having a proper e-learning module that facilitates employee learning. For that, we need to work with collaboration with our party and your team and external software company that provides customized e-learning. So we looked into a few features of the proposed e-learning module. So we got to know that your employees have given a laptop with the work from home concept. So because of that, they can easily log into the system by using their email, username and the password. They can access at anywhere, anytime. So it's kind of a user-friendly interface to employees as well. The entire e-learning module comprises with different course materials, activities, live sessions, and the different subject areas in your company. So similarly, employees have the probability of uploading, downloading their own course materials as well. When it comes to requirements, so as we discussed before, you will going to purchase a customized e-learning module. So your IT department will make the setup arrangement within your company. But you need to concern on few areas like your processor capacity, your processor speed and operating systems, browsers that should be compatible with the purchasing e-learning module. And also, you need to focus on how many employees log at once and how many learning materials available at once. Similarly, the most important thing is you need to apply certain security regulations since your employees access in a remote setting. Your IT department will work on the infrastructure, and while your training and development department will coordinate the entire process. Apart from that, we are going to conduct all these trainings in lecture mode, online lecture mode, webinar, so that you need to have a proper learning platform, either MS Teams or Zoom. But due to the security conditions, we are recommend you to have MS Teams. So before we are going to initiate these processes, your employees should be trained on these aspects. When it comes to the concept, you know that we are leading organizations that delivering related training experience. And you are into communication industry and your focus is the customer service excellence. So with that, all our trainings will be aligned with the customer service skills like problem solving, communication, negotiation skills, and making as well. So when it comes to resource person, you can have both options, internal and external. So when it comes to internal resource person, you can use your senior manager to provide subject area knowledge and to train new. But when it comes to technical and more expertise knowledge, you can have the external resource person, and all these trainings will be facilitated through online media. So we have a best panel in our team. So we are having all these training methods that align with the course content. And say for example, you are delivering so much of new products to the industry. So for a situation like that, we are going to use different simulations to train employees. And for skill demonstrations, we can use role plays. And for decision making and problem solving, we can use project-based learning case studies. Other than that, employees also simply use self-learning as well. When it comes to evaluation, this is kind of a new experience to your company, and we can use as a test experience. Because of that, evaluation at each level will be mandatory in terms of trainer and the learner. So we are going to use this evaluation techniques in 3 instruments. Under the process, we are going to have the participants' immediate reaction on training materials and the trainer using an online platform that is for the future improvements. When it comes to outcomes, so we are going to measure with the participants apply those skills in the workplace upon exposure to training. So we can use quizzes, assessment during and after the session, and certain role plays. Say for example, you have a policy that each new employee joins your company has to pass an written examination on telecommunication legislations and the procedure. So that exam we can facilitate through online media, simply through our e-learning module. Again, an employee customer service, they have to make a role play to demonstrate on customer-related skills. Simply, you can have an online log sheet to maintain all the customer-related issues and evaluate on what decisions you did and what skills used, what are the outcomes, and at the end of the day, supervisor will evaluate basis on that. And that is kind of an alternative solution to on-the-job observations. And finally, the impact. Impact you also measure in a similar way, measuring outcome after the training in terms of sale, absenteeism, turnover rate, customer complaints. So with that, after introducing such a strategy, as a client, you are expecting outcomes. So we'll simply look into the outcomes of this proposed learning strategy. So when it comes to positive outcomes, it is cost effective in terms of administration cost and the logic, because you are in the virtual setting and you don't need to spend so much money on the physical setting. And it is kind of a different learning approach to your employees rather than using physical setup. Through these online trainings, they have the facility recording so that employees can use those recordings to revise the knowledge that they learn. And one most important thing, you can address a large audience that also they can log into the system from a different locations. But sometimes trainees are reluctant to interact with the trainer due to no physical setup. But through this online media, they can also facilitate with the trainer without any problem. That will accelerate their learning as well as education will be done. Moving on to the negative aspect, there's people call that online media is quite less interactive and less engagement, but you can reduce this by using certain techniques like icebreakers, energizers, activities during the session. But you can't control the learning environment because of certain disturbances. And also you can't enhance the study mood of the employees, and you need to, you can't realize whether they have understood those concepts unless you are having an exam. There are some technical issues as well when it comes to network and data solutions, but you are into telecommunication industry, and you can provide a better solution for your employees. Finally, the lacking on the job observations. Having said that, we have introduced a budget statement as well. So you can simply go through this. When it comes to time frame, it will take nearly 4 months of time for the implementation, because only the time taken part is the setup. While your IT team work on that, we as a team work on the rest of the things. So after ending all the processes, both the parties can start the process at once.